All right. So, as I was mentioning, this is a short notice and it's not on a typical day, but I didn't want to put off talking about this new tool that a lot of Optavia is using. And I wanted to make sure that everybody had access to it in our community. And so, a couple of months ago, it hasn't been even a full year, I don't think, we started using the link tree, right? Instead of having to send daily texts. How helpful has that been to not have to send those daily texts? Have you guys been using the link tree? Yeah. And so, as much as I love it, okay, there's a Jan Paxman and like Amber Smithson and Jameel Fraser and that whole community there. They got together and actually put together an app that has like incredible resources. And because of the way that it is laid out, it is making it even easier. And I knew this when we put the link tree together, that it would make it a little more attractive for people to join us as coaches if they didn't feel like every day they were having to send a million different texts. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that has made it a lot less intimidating to even bring on a coach, the less work involved? Yeah. So, anyways, and so when I heard about this new tool, I was like, do we need to switch since we just started using Linktree? That was a big question that I had in my mind because I heard about it a little while ago, right? But I started exploring the tool and I was thinking this, you guys, I don't want to hold it back from you. Okay. I know that we just started using the Linktree. It's somewhat similar in the sense that the whole framework that you're sending them something, right? When you get started and you're telling them go through this stuff before you get started. But the difference is that it's an app that they can have it on their phone, okay? And the resources and the way that it's organized because of the like infrastructure they used, I feel is a little bit easier to use. Okay. And so not only do I feel like it's a little bit easier to use, but it looks nice. It looks really professional. And the resources that are available from starting somebody off all the way through transition are incredibly comprehensive. And so once again, I did not want to keep it from you. Number one. Number two, I believe that the more everybody is doing the same thing, the easier it is for everybody to do their thing. Do you understand what I mean? So, if one team is doing this and one team is, and throughout Optavia, there's a million different teams, right? And there are different teams that use different things. But from Dan Bell on down, Dan Bell is endorsing and recommending this. And there's additional resources that are involved with using the tool that we don't have available to us that I want us to be able to leverage. Okay. So I wanted to preface the conversation with the topic of this is similar to Linktree, but like an upgrade. Okay. So having said that, we were having trouble making it so that you can see my screen as I go through this presentation. So I'm going to actually invite you guys to download it yourself so that we can go through it together while you have it on your phone. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. Let me get the page up here. Hang on a second.
Excuse me, Donnie.
Yeah.
Is this the one that Dan Bell was talking about on the LAC call?
Yep. That you've asked me a couple times about. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a resource here. Okay. So I'm going to actually post a link into Coaches on a Mission that has everything that you need. Okay. But everybody that's with me right now, can you guys hear me? My computer just said it's not responding. Are you guys with me? Oh no. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you, Don.
All right, because okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna text this number. Let me tell you right now what it is. Okay, you're gonna dial text 423-556-6877. And you're gonna type in welcome. So the number
Can you
is
say that again, Donnie?
423, and I'll type it into the chat. It's 4423 556 6877. Okay. So once you type that in, you're going to receive a text. So once you guys receive your text, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or give me a 1 in the chat so I know you have it. So that we can proceed.
So just to clarify, you want everybody to text welcome to that number.
Correct. You're going to text welcome to that number. And as soon as you type that in and you submit it, it will you're going to receive a text. Did everybody? Okay, Felicity received the text. So the word is welcome, Kelly. Melissa has it. Susan has it. Haven't received it yet, Tim? So basically, who has an Android on here? Raise your hand if you have it, or type an A into the chat if you have an Android. Type an I into the chat if you have an iPhone. So depending on how you do it, if you click, once you receive the text, there's a link, and you click that link, and it's going to take you to like a hub, okay, that looks somewhat like this. Okay, once you have that hub open, if you have an Android, there's 3 little dots up here in the right upper hand corner. If you click that, there's a spot where you can put it as add to home screen. Susan, do you have a question?
Sorry, talking to my dog.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Melody and Susan have an iPhone. So have you guys ever put anything in your save to your home screen before? No? Okay, so let me share my screen. Let me look at the resources here because I have it in Android, but it's good to become familiar with both. Okay. I'm going to ask you guys for some grace here as I'm kind of learning how to navigate both. Okay. But what you want to do whenever you start a client, you actually want to walk them through getting this on their phone before you even hang up the phone. Okay. And on here, it has, there's an intro video on how you get started, which is what we're doing right now. Okay. But there is instructions on how to do it for iPhone or Android. So iOS. It'll tell us here how to do it for iOS. Hang on a second.
Done, Viv.
Can you guys hear?
So I'm going to assume that you've already clicked on the link.
Nope.
Because this is what's going to show up in your browser. Now, if you're playing with an Apple device, you're going to look at the top right where it's called the URL bar. There's going to be a little square with an arrow coming out of it.
Do you
You're
see
going
that?
to click on that. Once you do, this menu is going to pop up. Right below, if you scroll down in that second half, you'll see add to home screen. I just highlighted it right there for you. You're going to click on that. Once you do that, you'll actually see that it already has an icon. It's got the website right there. You're going to click on the X to the right of the name, and you're going to rename it My Path to Health. Click Add, and you'll see it pop up on your screen right there. It's that easy.
Okay.
Hope you have a blessed day. Let your mentor coach know if you have any questions.
Does everybody have it on their home screen now? No? Were you able to do it, Susan?
No, I'm still not seeing what he was referring to.
So
But-
on the top, like wherever you have, did you, okay, you have your text open, right? You received the text, right?
Yeah,
And then that very first link, did you click that button? On the text?
I'm sorry.
you sent out a text, right? Did you receive a response?
Yes,
Okay, so that response, that very first link in the response, click that.
yes, yep,
You click that. Do you see this?
yes, yes,
Okay, so if you have an iPhone, there's the URL bar where you have the address for the thing, and there's like a little box with an arrow on top. Do you see that?
no.
I don't either. I'm right where you are, Susan.
Okay,
No,
so
that's not on our
Let me
phone.
pull up that video. again.
Susan, hey,
Now
this is
that-
Kelly. Hey, this is Kelly. I didn't do it that way on the iPhone. I went down at the bottom of our screen where there's, let me go back. Hold on, I can walk you through it because I didn't see that either. So there's, do you know how to save something on your home screen? Okay, let me go
Mm,
through
yeah.
it. I'll
There's
Do you
show
have
you.
an iPhone, Tim?
There's a link right after that first one that says, here's how you can save the module icon to your home screen for quick reference. Does
Yeah.
that give you the whole app or just the
That
icon?
just gives you the video that I just played, but if that video that I just played is not helping you guys, then maybe Kelly's method is gonna help you.
Okay.
So
I'll
Kelly's
listen to
saying that
Kelly.
it's on the right lower hand corner. Go ahead, Tim.
Just a quick question. When we log on and register, we're registering Start Your Journey, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I did that, and this is what came up on my screen. Congratulations for prioritizing your health. So what I did was I went up into, if you've got an Android, you go up into the, up here.
Android. We're struggling with the iPhoners.
All right. So I can't help. Sorry.
Look,
the
I was
Applers.
gonna, so once you bring it up and it says member vault, sign in, available contents, welcome to Path, y'all see that?
Yes,
Okay, go all the way down at your bottom of your screen. Do you see like there is a book and in the middle of the screen, you've got a square with a little arrow, like if you want to send it to somebody? Do you see that?
Yes. I
Okay,
clicked
click on that,
which one, the arrow?
the arrow one. And
Okay.
scroll down where it says add to home screen. It's like add bookmark, add favorites, add quick note, find a page, add to home
Okay.
screen. Do y'all see that?
Yes,
Do you see it, Melanie?
No, I don't see it. I clicked on that arrow.
What happens when you click the arrow?
It just disappears like I've saved it somewhere.
Okay, let's go
Hmm.
back. Hold tight. So
Kelly, are
the
you able
arrow
to
that
share your
arrow
screen by
that you're
any chance?
clicking. Wait, I'm sorry.
Oh, I guess not because you're on your phone, right? So never mind.
I was gonna say the arrow that you're clicking on, it's the one inside the little box in the center of your, in the bottom center of your screen.
No, it's to the right. Oh, I
So
thought
go
that-
down straight in the middle of your screen. You'll see a left and right arrow on your left, a square with an arrow, then a book, then like two double boxes. Do you see the middle one with the square and the arrow?
I'm not sure where you are. All right,
Okay.
I will figure it out. You guys don't have to waste your time.
We'll help you, Melody. We'll help figure
Yes.
it out, okay? But we'll go ahead and continue for right
Yeah, go-
now.
Go ahead.
And then we'll make sure that you've got it, okay? So for
Yeah.
those of you that have saved it to your home screen, do you see, like, when you go back to your home screen, are you able to find it? Mine is my path to health. So I click it and it opens up. Do you see that? Okay. So how cool is this, right? Like Tim said, welcome to my path to health. Congratulations for prioritizing your health. And then you scroll down and look at this. It's got the first module, let's get started. You can click it and then there's different things in that first module, including welcome, let's get you connected, resources and helpful items, watch your journey kickoff before you begin, understanding fat burn. You see that? Okay, so that's the first module, right? The first little section that has 7 modules in it. So when you start a client, what you want to do is you're going to give them this instead of sending them a link tree. I'm going to update it up in our coach link tree thing to make sure you guys have the instructions, okay? So this is not necessarily completely new to you because you've kind of been doing that, right? Yes, Tim, can you share your screen? Are you able to do that? Let me give you power here. So you've already kind of been following this system, if you will. It's just a new system. Does that make sense? Just a new interface to it. And I just love the whole visuals of it. It feels to me like it's so much easier to navigate. Okay. So what you do is you send this to them and you say, hey, while you're waiting for your program to arrive, can you go through that first module with the lessons? Do you see that? Okay. And in that module, it includes that night before call, which is the Watch Your Journey Kickoff. You guys, I have seen and I have recorded many Journey Kickoff calls. And this, I have got to say, is the best and most comprehensive Journey Kickoff call I have heard. It is amazing. It addresses all of the different tools that we use. It addresses, you know, how to make a lean and green. It goes over everything. It's fabulous. Thank you, Tim, for sharing. So we're in that first section, which is while I wait for my box to arrive. You see that? Okay. So you would invite them to go through these modules so before their box arrives. And the instruction would be, once your box arrives, call me so that we can get you started. But the job here is for you to review this before your box arrives. Okay. So then you go back out. Let's go back to the previous, or I guess you can, yeah, where they have the whole big menu. Okay. And then it's your first week. So you open up, it's my first week. So this is what you're going to be doing. And I love how they kind of set this up. One of the things that we've learned through Dr. A and through habit retraining is the concept of habit stacking, right? So has anyone here sent somebody the link tree and then you ask them at the end of the day, have you watched your video? And they're like, no. Have you watched your thing? They don't know what we're talking about, right? We have to keep repeating. And we will have to keep repeating it, but this is how we're going to instruct them, which I thought was fabulous. Every morning when you eat your first fueling, you're going to open up your app and you're going to watch you're going to watch and listen to your tips for the day. Okay. So that's called habit stacking. And so they're going to start right off the bat. That very first day, they're going to be eating their first fueling and they're going to listen to the thing. So when you talk to them the night before, you're going to give them those instructions and you're going to walk them through to make sure that they see and know how to do that. Okay. So tomorrow morning, you pull out your bar, you bring out your cappuccino, whatever it is. While your cappuccino is heating up, you're going to open up your app and you're going to listen to your day one activities. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, Tim, you're going to notice that not only does it have a video, but it has tips for success and action steps. Okay. So if we go to, and then once you've done that, you can click mark as complete. Then we move on to the second one, right? So if you go to day 2, if you click on day 2, you'll notice there's a video and then you scroll down, there's a message and there are action steps. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to the main menu again. So notice there's every day for 10 days. And on day 9, it gives them the video on how to update their order. Either way, bottom line is they have all of this at their fingertips, okay? Now, the document I'm going to be sending you guys actually has a breakdown of what you can find in every single module, okay? So that you'll know where to find what if somebody just asks you randomly, where do I find how to update my Premier order, right? There's like a little menu of things that you can find so you can find out where would that be so you can guide them to that spot. Does anyone have any questions so far? Any questions? No? Okay. So let's go back out, Tim. Let's go back to the previous page. Thank you so much for sharing.
Let go of it.
You got it. Yay. Awesome. Where was it, Melody?
Oh, no, I didn't get it.
Oh,
I got-
okay.
got the app. I was able to follow along with you, but I don't have it on my
Phone
homepage
yet.
yet. So-
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm glad to hear that you've got it. Okay, so the next part after that first week is welcome to your life book. So if you open that up, look how amazing this is, you guys. Okay, click on element 1. Okay, if you click on element 1 and scroll down just a little bit, okay, you'll notice that it has the elements, the pages to read, additional resources, including the webinar link and the podcast link, and then answer the following questions here. What is your why for being here? Why is now the right time for you to be on this journey? When we connect our emotions with our why, we deepen our intrinsic motivation to reach our desired results. How are you feeling about your current reality? Okay, does this sound familiar, you guys? Where were these questions taken from? Pop quiz. Does anybody know where these questions were taken from?
Element 1.
Element 1 and the coaching guide,
The coaching guide.
From
right?
the end of the summary.
So how cool is this, okay, that your clients have it right there. And if we can get them in that rhythm of checking their messages in the morning and then guiding them through each of the elements as they go along, okay, they have everything here. Is this awesome or is this awesome? Okay, I just can't say enough about how comprehensive I think this is. Did I hear somebody say something? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Okay. So let's go back out again. And to the previous section. So notice the first section is while I wait for my box to arrive. The second section is it's my first week. The third section is welcome to your life book. Then the next section is getting the best results. You guys, this is awesome. Tim, if you can go to the getting the best results, if you'll open that module. Okay. Has anyone here ever gone a week and not lost, and had a client that went a week and did not lose any weight? Okay. So at that moment, you go through a systems check to figure out what is it that's causing them to be stuck, right? That takes time. So when somebody is stuck, you send them to this module, getting the best results. And if you scroll down, you'll notice that she goes through a systems check. First of all, there's a video, and then there's a checklist on all the different areas, okay? So you can say, okay, so this is the deal. There's something that might be off. We need to find out what it is. So I'm going to ask you to please watch this video and go through this section, and then text me, message me when you find out what it is that's off. Can you see how that's going to save a lot of time? How do you think that makes clients feel?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
This thing is off the chain. You know how many times I go through this with people? And we just, it's good to go over and do the systems check with your clients because they get frustrated and they're like, there must be something wrong. No, we just need to tweak a little bit. We're fine tuning. That's all we're doing. But this is like right in front of your face, everything we talk about.
And this is what's cool
It's
is
visual.
that there's no judgment. They don't feel judged when we start going through the systems check and asking questions, right? Now,
Yep.
obviously, you as a coach need to know how to do a system check, right? And if they go through this, they've watched it. Okay, so what we're doing is we're empowering them with the resources. So we're going to say, I need you to go watch that video and go through this and tell me what you think is off. Okay. So let's say they watch it and they can't find out what it is. You might need to help them a little bit. Okay. But what I believe is going to happen is most people are going to see it and they're like, oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. And they're not going to be intimidated by you asking the question, have you eaten anything off plan? You know? And so that, and if you scroll down a little bit more, there's action steps. Watch the video above for clues and text your coach where you can improve. How cool is that? Okay. And if you go back up to the top where they have the different extra resources for that, back to the top of the page, please. On the right upper hand side of the page. right there. So they have food fallacies and blasted. Blasted is a resource or an acronym for, here we go. So blasted is, are you bored? Are you lonely? Are you angry? Are you stressed? Are you tired? Are you excited? Are you depressed? Okay. So these are questions to ask yourself when you have a food choice. I think this is brilliant, you guys. I have been coaching for 13 years and I love this tool. Okay. And there's a little video at the top also that kind of helps you guide through, right? What are some of the food fallacies that we believe? Well, it's summer, so I can't try to lose weight. Well, I'm going on a trip, so I shouldn't have to do 5 and 1. Well, you see what I'm saying? There's all these different food fallacies. And so I love how they do that. And then there's information on tracking. Okay. So if you find somebody that's getting a little stuck, or you know that somebody that's looking for a little extra information, send them to this module. Okay. Now let's go back to see the modules again, the previous modules. Then the last one is time to transition. Not last one, but I guess it's close to it. Time to transition. Has anyone here had any trouble or felt a little intimidated about coaching people through transition? Okay. Well, now you no longer have to, because they have it in their app that's on their home screen. Okay. So it's time to transition. They're going to watch that little video with Amber Smithson, and then scroll down a little bit, Tim, please. Action steps. Watch the short video above. Read your Optavia guide, pages 48 to 50, to learn how to transition. Then what? Go back up. Week 1, transition week 1. Look at that. There's a checklist. There is a checklist. And so then we scroll down a little bit. There's the Optavia transition plans. Read the habits of health. So it's got everything that you need right there, you guys. This is so incredibly comprehensive. And then it goes through each of the weeks. Okay. You, of course, as a coach, you just need to know how to figure out their TEE and guide them to where they would be finding that, right? And then we just take them to that point. And it tells you each week. So on week 4 through 6, you're eating anywhere from 1,100 to 1,550 calories, right? So for example, I'm helping a client through transition right now. She needs to get to 1,600 calories. Well, by the end of week 6, she'll be there, right? Because it's all laid out for her right there. She doesn't have to guess what's next, right? Now you can't click it there, but you can still see it as a checklist, right? So that's transition. And now if you go back, there's also a section on optimization. Look how cool that is. So here, there's the tools to calculate your TEE. Choose your meal plan based on your TEE. The healthy exchange options, the glycemic index, all of the resources really that they need to go through finish transition and beyond. Okay. But they've got the entire Lifebook resources in this app, which I think is fabulous. We've been including it in every week when we post the little thing. There's like a resource they can go to and have access to all of the habits of health stuff. But I think this is incredible. This has it's so incredibly comprehensive. Okay. Now, if we go back once again to the main menu, the last module, sneak peek into coaching. Does that mean you have to wait until people are done with the transition to take them here? No. You can take them here at any point in time. However, because it's on their app, because in the very first week, you're telling them to go through those very first things, guess what? From get-go, they have access to this information. They can look at it whenever they want. Okay. Obviously, you as a coach, you're going to be guiding them through. But here it is, you guys. It's like so comprehensive. So really, all you need to do is when you start a client, you have them download this, teach them how to put it on their home screen like we did today, and then tell them to go through that very first lesson before their box arrives. On the night before, you teach them to habit stack. You say, every morning when you eat your first fueling, watch your little video for the day. Listen to your little video for the day. And that way they get used to using this thing every day that you call them for their daily calls. You're asking them, did you watch your video? What did you get? What tips did you use? Okay. Remember, tomorrow morning when you eat your first fueling, remember to watch your little video for the day. Okay. So you keep repeating it for 3 or 4 days. When you get to the 1 week call, you ask them, did you watch your week video? Okay. So you're reiterating, and now they see that they have absolutely everything at their fingertips. So do you see how this might tell somebody, ooh, this is easy. I think I can coach somebody. Everything is there. Everything is there. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that you guys had this. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you is this. If we can go back to the first module, please. Okay. This is something that they are doing that is, I think, pretty cool as well. If you scroll down a little bit, Tim, it says win calls. You guys see that? Wellness integration now calls. Okay. These are community calls that are being done almost at a system-wide level, almost, right? Because they're all of, Dan Blanchard, Dave Blanchard, and Brian Drollinger's organization is doing that. Brian Drollinger owns over half of Optavia. Okay. So basically most of Optavia is using this. Okay. Where they're doing these win calls twice a day. Is it once a week? It's twice a day. So if somebody can't join a call, they can join another. Okay. Right now, they're only doing it twice a day. They're hoping to increase it to more options. Okay. So as it stands, every day at 10 a.m. Eastern and at 9 p.m. Eastern, or at 7 a.m. Pacific or 6 p.m. Pacific. For our Eastern people, it's a little bit late, but still, it's a community call that people have access to every day. So when you have a client that's struggling a little bit, do you need to call them every day? No. You need to invite them to plug into community. It's a 15-minute call. I have not had a chance to get on one of these yet, but they're going to be doing one tonight at 9 that I'm hoping to log into for the first time. And really kind of explore how it works. To explore if we need to continue doing something like vitamin C, if people are going to have multiple opportunities at different times throughout the week that they can join. Okay. So what I'm going to invite all of you guys to do, I'm going to invite you guys to go through at least your week 1 videos. Okay. Go through while I wait for my box to arrive, watch your night before call. Okay. Go through week 1. And I'm going to invite you guys to attend at least 2 win calls this next week. Okay. So that you can explore and see what it's like before we start inviting clients to it. Okay. I have not invited any clients to it yet. I want to watch it. I want you guys to watch it. I want us to discuss it so we can come up with our next steps. Okay. Tim, thank you so much for sharing. If you want to stop now. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions about this?
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
What I did was I actually saved a shortcut to my desktop on my phone. It's not really, it doesn't come up as an app. It comes up as a shortcut. Is that appropriate or no?
As long as you have a button you could push in the beginning of, your phone is open and you could push a button. Ultimately, we want to make it stupid simple.
Because it actually gives it, if you can see, you can't really see the icon right up in the top corner. It says Pathway to Health, but it establishes it as a shortcut on the desktop. So I didn't know if it was actually an app that you had to download, or we just an access point. Because if it's just an access point, this is as simple as just saving it and just, here you go, guys.
Put it on your cover screen. That's all it is.
That's it.
That's all it is. Now, there is, as I mentioned, there's a resource that I'm going to be posting into Coaches on a Mission that has everything that you need to know about all of this. Okay. one of the things that I will encourage you guys to do, let me see if I can open it so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Here we go. That's what I'm gonna do. Where did you go? Share screen. Here we go. Okay, so on this document, right, it has the information to have them text welcome to, okay? The information for them to save it to their cover screen, whether they have iOS or Android, okay? I'm going to invite you guys to do this with them while you have them on the phone, because as we noticed with Melody, right, that's a perfect example. Guess what? We weren't able to help her here. Melody's probably going to go home and try to figure it out, but some of your clients won't. And then they're not going to have access to it. And then all of a sudden their program arrives and they're all behind, okay? So while you have your client on the phone, you want to try to troubleshoot and make sure that they have it, okay? And then this Google Doc client modules thing, if you open that, it has what you can find where. So if you're wondering, where can I find the Journey kickoff call? Oh, look, it's in that first box, the third one, okay? Where can I find the information on updating your Premier? It's on the second box after day 8. You see what I'm saying? So this is kind of like the index, so you can find whatever it is that you're looking to send. Okay, so that's the index. Let me close that. Basically, this is everything that I went over with you guys. Okay, now on the app, it gives you the time, the dates, and the link for the win calls so that you can check it out. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is something that most of Optavia is using. I thought it was too good of a resource that I didn't think that we needed to just hold on to the Linktree just because we just started using it, you know? So ultimately, this replaces the client support Linktree. Okay. We will still have our Coaches on a Mission Linktree, which I will update the instructions so that you can go to the Coaches on a Mission Linktree to get this information. Does that make sense? So the Coaches on a Mission Linktree, keep that, don't delete it or anything like that, because that will still be kind of like our grand central station of all things Coaches on a Mission, including this, because before I used to have it including the Coach app. Do you guys remember the Coach app was on the other one? Well, the Coach app is no more. Okay, this has replaced the Coach app, and this will replace our client support Linktree. Yes, Tim.
2 questions. First question is, when I've got my clients, when I onboard my clients, sorry about the nurse speak, but that happens every once in a while. When I onboard my clients or bring them in, I usually will set up our team support, our co-coaching support thing in Messenger or on a text message. Now, what I do is I will put miscellaneous things in there that they might ask for specifically. Like I'll put in a link to that. Are you saying not to do that and just walk them through all of this, or just can I just give them the link and then ask them if they have any challenges getting on board with it to give me a shout and I can walk them through it? Which
I
one
would
is
recommend
beneficial to
walking
take?
them through it, because when you're
Okay.
just doing one-on-one, it shouldn't take as long as it did for, 1-on-10,
Okay.
So one-on-one, you'll be able to just walk them through. Now, this is what's really cool too, because they sent out a text and they're receiving an automatic text. They're going to be receiving, I want to say 4 or 5 texts reminding them to plug in. So that's pretty awesome too, because in addition to you teaching them to plug in, they're going to be getting texts to remind them to plug in. Make
Should
sense?
we also be providing this to our current clients, the ones that just recently started, and tell them we're going to transition over? Because here's the deal: when Linktree came out for me, I put that on blast to all of my clients. I said, listen, we're using a really cool new tool, and I would love for you guys to dig into that and get used to it. So
The answer
I
is
want to do
yes.
something similar to that, but I also don't want to blow their spots up either, because
Yeah.
people tend to
And
get like,
Exactly. So for those clients that you have that are already established, that don't need to go through week 1 and don't need to be receiving those daily texts to remind them, in the chat, I posted a link. that link is listed in the email, in the document I'm going to be posting into Coaches on a Mission. That's the link that I would send out to your active clients right now and say, hey, this is a resource that we're using. It has everything that you need. So my client that has been going through transition for like 4 or 5 weeks now, I had her go here so she could pick up on the transition resources, right? From now on week 4 or 5 of transition, right? Because I was like, the resources for transition here are too good for me to wait till everybody goes live. Okay. So I posted the link into into the chat. And so that's the link you would send to active clients to
It
get
might be,
involved.
it might also be, and I'm just thinking, trying to think outside the box, but what if we send this out and ask for a response? What do you think of this? We'd like you to review it and see how user friendly is it for you? Is it something that looks valuable to you? And then get the conversation started that way. Because I did that with Linktree, and Linktree is kind of, I don't know, I find it really user friendly, but there's a lot of people out there that just, even just going through the process of click, click, click. What this does is it gives you a visual, and that
gives you the
visual
visual.
that visual learner is going to be like, oh my gosh, what is up with that, right? So I'm wondering if it wouldn't be a good thing to kind of say, okay, can you check this out for me? I would really love to know what your feedback is on this.
I'm going to not recommend that across the board, because that may open Pandora's box depending on the client, where you're
Okay.
going to get lambasted because you asked a very open questions. What do you think? Right? I would say, I think that a question that might keep it focused on the positive would be, what do you think is most helpful about this compared to what you've been doing so far?
Okay.
Okay. That would be an option. If you want to ask the question, I'm personally going to just say, we are using this pretty awesome tool that we're going to do away with the other one. Here you go. This is how you use it. Okay. So I'm not going to ask for feedback.
Okay.
But I
Sweet.
mean, I wouldn't say that it's wrong to ask for feedback, but if you do, I would ask a question that's not going to open the possibility of getting lambasted from somebody that's having a bad day. You see what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you. I'm thinking about the whole, like, getting in and really starting to get a feel for it right from jump. And I'm not thinking about sending that out to everybody. I'm thinking about my active clients, the ones that I'm actually closely working with right now. I think they would find this like crazy valuable. Like, a lot of them are getting ready to transition. Some of them are in those places where if you can have a visual to kind of walk you through that, that's just like,
Yeah.
it's just amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
I will say also, like, what I am going to ask for feedback on from you guys is if you can please plug in to 1 or 2 win calls this week. On our team time next week, we're going to explore whether we're going to continue doing vitamin C calls or not. Okay. Because with all these multiple win calls available, I want to leave Sunday night open for what we're going to be doing this Sunday night, which is the last announcement before we wrap up. I know this is going a little bit longer, but like I said, this is just a special event where, I wanted to introduce this tool. I could not keep it. Tim has asked me like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, should I or should I not? Should I or should I not? I'm like, I can't hold back anymore. Okay. So I was like, we've got to talk about this. But what I would like for us to do on Sunday nights is leave that open to do trilogy calls, to do program presentations, to do webinars that everybody can come to. Okay. And so what we're going to be doing this Sunday night is May is Women's Health Month and it's Mental Health Month. So I thought, why don't we talk about mental health issues for women, which include things like body image, which include things like pay differences, which include things like financial independence, okay, so all of these things that through coaching and through Optavia we can address. So the topic is going to be, let me see if I have the little poster up here. Hang on a second so I can show you. And we're going to have 3 women speaking. We're going to have Susan, Heather, and I just drew a blank here. Susan, Heather, and Susan, what's your coach's name again? Forgot her name.
Oh, Morgan?
Morgan, okay? So we're gonna be featuring stories of women that needed work-life balance to help, you know, Heather needed work-life balance to take care of her kids that had been in a car accident, right? We're gonna be talking about, you know, being in relationships, you know, so we're gonna be touching on those topics, giving tips that are not necessarily Optavia related, but then also talking about how becoming a coach answers these things as well. Okay. So I'll post the information and the details into Coaches on a Mission. I'm not going to pull it up right now. So, but it'll be Sunday night during vitamin C time. Okay. Now, having said that, normally what we have been doing, once again, there's a lot of changes going on this week. And so I apologize that there's a lot of differences going on this week. We're going to be in a little phase of transition here. And so I'm going to ask you to bear with me. But the whole idea of giving people something to read and something to listen to, and, you know, the whole, we're going to continue with that. Okay. It just so happens that if we are going, that this week, we're not going to be talking about the topic we're sending out this week. Does that make sense? Okay, so the topic we're going to send out for everybody to read and watch, and I'm finishing all that right now, is the video from the community call from last week, okay, which was choices versus cheating or something like that. No cheating, only choices, right? And so then we're going to send that to our clients. Guess what you're going to do as a coach? You're going to continue sending that to your clients. And you're going to continue using that as a talking point with your clients. You're going to continue using that as a resource to get content to post on your wall. Okay. We just might not continue meeting to talk about it on Sunday nights. That's what's going to be a little bit up in the air right now, that I'm going to ask you guys for feedback after you've been on a Win call. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions? Oh, yes. And Tim posted, you know, we can do, so with us leaving Sunday nights open, we can do multiple other webinars. Okay. Whether they're trilogy calls or not, we can do value webinars for the public because our clients are taken care of with community through the Win calls. You see? So in June, we've got men's health coming up. So could we do a webinar for men's health? Yes. Okay. And whatever other topics throughout the year come up, we can do webinars on that topic and draw people into our community. Okay. So I know that this is a little bit, anything new can make your eyes and head spin. Okay. And so if your head is spinning, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. And all you need to do today is just make that little button a home, like on your home screen. Just put that little button on your home screen and then message your mentor and say, what's next? That's all you need to worry about today. Okay. So with that, you guys, thank you so much for joining me on a non-typical Teen Time night. And I'm excited about this. I can't wait to hear your experience as you use it. Okay. So with that, have a good night.